Hi guys, this is Tablet-News.com and I'm here with the Acer Iconia Tab A510 Olympic Edition. How do we know it's an Olympic Edition? Well, simply by looking at the back. Here are the Olympic rings. The official Olympics competition starts in London in just a couple of days, so it's nice to have an Olympic device for review. So you've guessed it, this is the full review for Tablet-News.com of the Acer Iconia Tab A510 Olympic Edition. I have to say right from the start that this tablet is a big disappointment because it has many bugs and many problems. I've been reading the Amazon and Best Buy comments from users and they're all saying that it's very bugged and it has problems. For one thing, you must know that the Acer Iconia Tab A510 original version was cancelled. Acer withdrew it from the market because of problems, but strangely this model still carrying on. Now I'm going to show you one of the first problems. It's the backlighting on the upper area of the tablet. So let me just zoom in so you'll see what I'm talking about. I hope that you can see this. You can see that there is a minor backlighting issue here. It looks like a bit of white dust or something, but it's actually the backlight going through the screen layer, which sucks a bit. It's more visible when the background is black, but once again that sucks very much. The other big problem that this device has is the random reboots and freezes. It happened to me twice, and when it reboots this model feels like it's exploding. The two speakers from right here are very loud and the device suddenly restarts. Okay, we got that frustration out of the way. This device costs $399 on Amazon.com, and as I said, it has been having some problems with the older units. As far as design goes, this tablet is identical to the original Iconia Tab A510, so Olympic Edition only means these circles and that's it. No customized software, no customized app, nothing, just some circles. Okay, now let's check out the design. Up front, 10-inch display, 10.1-inch display, Acer logo beneath it, front camera right here. It's a 1 megapixel camera. Hope you can see it, it's placed right here. Now let's have a look at the bottom. We have a very weirdly and unpleasantly placed micro USB port. Here we have a reset button, which makes you think that it may suck, this device, so that you need to reset it. Here we have the dual speakers, one here, one here. It promises Dolby Digital Plus, very good audio, we'll get to that later. The main 5 megapixel camera right here. At the top we have this locking mechanism for the screen orientation, volume buttons, on the side on-off button, audio jack, and here the bulk of all the ports. We have the HDMI port here, and underneath this lid we have the micro SD card slot and a tiny slot for 3G, but not actually a slot, so this is just a template of a tablet that could have 3G. Okay, now this is all the design, this is all you need to know about the device's design. It's 10.2mm thick, so pretty thick and pretty heavy, 680 grams in case you're wondering. The display, as I said, 10.1 inches, 1280 over 800 pixels in resolution. It's got stereo speakers, Dolby Mobile technology, 32 gigabytes of storage and 1 gig of RAM. It's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 2.1, micro USB 2.0, and you can use an adapter that comes in the package. This is it, this is the adapter I'm talking about. You simply connect it to the micro USB port right here. Here we are. And after it you connect this USB drive, or you connect a mouse or keyboard, whatever you want. You'll see that later when we play movies and music on this 10-inch tablet. Okay, so this is it when it comes to specs. The brain of this tablet is a quad-core NVIDIA Tegra 3 CPU, 1.3 GHz in frequency, and this device runs Android 4.0. You'll see immediately in the settings section. Going to About Tablet, and here we are, Android version 4.0.3, ice cream sandwich, which means we got swiping multitasking, which means we got this widgets and apps area. And since this is an Acer tablet, it's customized with the Acer ring right here, and another ring when locking the screen, this ring where you choose from the apps you like to unlock your device into. Okay, so this model, well, if you see that it's an Acer device, we've recently reviewed the Acer Iconia Tab A200, but this is the 510 and they look very much the same. So actually no evolution from the 200 to the 510, which once again sucks. Other specs for this device include an accelerometer, gyroscope, compass, GPS, and this tablet is available in the black and silver versions. The battery inside is a lithium-ion 9800 megapixels per hour unit that should provide you with about, I don't know, 12 hours, 13 hours of use. Acer is saying that it provides you with 15 hours, but let's not exaggerate. The bummer thing about this battery is that you'll have to charge it for huge amount of hours. Some people say you can take even 10 hours to charge the tablet. I took about 8 hours to charge it, which also sucks. And you saw the screen issues, so far I'm not very excited about this tablet. I wouldn't recommend that you would buy it, but let's carry on. It's time for the benchmarks now, as you probably already know, so that's why I'm going to enter the gallery. It actually does pretty well in benchmarks, unless you count Quadrant, where unexplainably it didn't do that well. So let me just find the screenshots. Here we are. This is Quadrant, and in Quadrant we only managed to score, here we are, we scored 2364, which is very low for a quad-core tablet. It's a bit higher than the Acer Iconia Tab 200 that scored 1900, and it's lower than the Asus Transformer Pad 300 that scored 3700 points, and lower than the Asus Infinity Pad that scored 4600 points. So this Acer tablet is inferior to any other Asus quad-core tablet. In Antutu things are better. As you can see, we scored 11,000 points. Meanwhile, the Asus Transformer Pad 300 scored 10,000 and the Asus Infinity scored 11,700, so better than this model. Moving on, we got Velamo with a score of 1516 or 1516. Well, this score is superior to the Acer Iconia 200, but also is inferior to the one of the Asus Infinity that's called around 1600. So once again, the Asus is better. And then comes the famous Nanomark with its frames per second. That's pretty impressive actually. We scored 59.9 frames per second, but the Asus Infinity Pad 700 scored 34.6 frames per second, but that's because it has a huge resolution. Keep that in mind. It's the huge resolution that makes the result go down. Meanwhile, the Asus Transformer Pad 300 scored 46 frames per second, so it actually handles things pretty well. Okay, we're done with this. It's time for the good old-fashioned multimedia test of the device. That's why I'm going to use this accessory. Insert the USB drive here, connect it here, and now we're having movies and audio on this tablet. And in order to access them, I'm going to use the bundled Astro file manager, manage my files, and we're going to listen to some music first. Let's go to USB storage, the latest EP from Cypress Hill and Roscoe. If you're into dubstep and hardcore hip hop, you'll like it. So let's start listening to the song. The speakers are very good, as you can hear. There are also some options you can apply here. We have some sound effects as usual, but that's not the most interesting aspect. What's interesting are the Dolby settings that we have here. Here we are, Dolby Mobile. You can see some nice settings here. We can settle the treble, we can settle the natural bass, a music equalizer, so that's an extra. Okay, I stopped the music. In case you didn't like this genre, sorry. Now it's time to watch a movie, or better said, a trailer. These are all full HD movies, in case you're wondering. So I brought you some trailers, and let's try to watch, let's say, Arthur Christmas. So once again, this is the 1080p content, full HD movie, and I hope you'll enjoy it.
Hi! Wow! Middle of summer. I know what you're thinking about. Christmas! I know, I can't wait either. Here, come on. I've got something really amazing to show you.
But you promise you won't show loads of people or stick it on the internet?
Here, look.
Gift wrap elves, attention!
Sir, yes, sir! Santa's airborne gift wrap battalion. The green ribbons.
Present your Christmas noise!
Ho, ho, ho! Sir!
Ho, 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 ho!
Quick, this way! Whoa! Hey, this is top secret! Turn that off!
Arthur Christmas.
Wow! That's one big teddy bear!
Coming in November.
Okay, so you saw the movie, it looked great, it had great colors, the tablet has great viewing angles, as you may have already figured out. And since we're in the multimedia area, I'm going to try and show you the camera on this device. Here it is, the camera option. For that I'm going to use this globe and start the camera. Don't expect anything much, it's a 5 megapixel sensor after all, but it performed decently, considering it has no flash. And here it is, a much more decent picture than what some new phones do nowadays. You'll need to have some decent sunlight, so these are some of the other pictures I've taken using the tablet. Pictures of birds in the park. Here is the quality of the 5 megapixel camera, and let's see what else it can do. Back to the camera, it's time to see some options. So here we are, this is the white balance option, exposure option, store location, picture size, focus mode, and we're going to go to the video area, not right now. This is what happens when the interface is too responsive. So here we are, the video options. As you can see, we have 1080p capture right here. You can do full HD video capture, HD or VGA. There's also time-lapse interval. You can do silly faces, and you can also do white balance. Of course, there is also panorama mode, something specific to Android 4.0 devices, but not of much use on a tablet nowadays. Okay, so you know all there is to know about the multimedia side. Now it's time to do the good old browser check. Here we are with the browser, and I'm going to show the virtual keyboard. This is it, it's pretty comfortable, nothing you haven't seen before. And let's enter Tablet News. Tablet-News.com should load fast. This is exactly what caused my last reset of the device. I simply entered Tablet News, I browsed around for a bit, and it reset on me, it crashed and made that horrible sound with the speakers. So that's why I can say that this device has problems. Even Acer admitted that the Acer Iconia Tab A510 has problems, but the Olympic edition, well, they didn't say anything about problems on this version. Okay, so as you can see, I'm pinching and zooming here, I'm scrolling, and the browser seems to look just fine. Okay, so you saw the browser, you saw the multimedia capabilities of this device, you saw the keyboard. Of course, we have this ring interface, you already saw the other ring. Both can be customized from the settings. Here we are. You can see lock screen apps, you can change them, and there are settings for the ring available right here. Okay, so you already saw the Dolby settings, and now let's see what apps they bundle with the device. One of them is Acer Print, so it allows you to print wirelessly. If you have more printers, you can add printers if they support Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Other than that, of course, as I said, it's Android 4.0 with all the multitasking joy. It's the Astro File Manager that they bundled, is the AOPO radio that's bundled, and it's very nice. It can show you music according to your mood. So let's see what my mood is. You can choose between calm, aggressive, danceable, dramatic, energetic. Let's choose fun, and it finds you a fun song. You can also choose one of the featured artists. It's got a very nice interface. Let's choose Katy Perry. There are also some featured stations here. There's also the ability to buy apps straight from the radio, to buy songs, excuse me. You can favorite a song. There are settings available here. There's a premium version. Anyway, this is the Aupeo radio app that I like very much. Other than that, we have a function called Clearify. This one is used to play back multimedia content. It plays movies, videos, and photos, and of course music. There's an album and timeline section. There's this sharing option, but as I said on the Acer Iconia Tab A200 review, this app doesn't impress me that much. Obviously, there's also an e-reading app. It's called LumiRead. Let's enter Tom Sawyer and let's see how we can read. This is how you skip between pages. We also have some options here like brightness, screen timeout, changing margin, changing backgrounds. You can also hold tapped on a word and look it up on the web or share it with people, share an entire quote if you want. And this is the reading experience, so you know all there is to know about this device. You saw the multimedia abilities, you know its primary bugs, the problem with the backlighting here, the problem with the random resets, the problem with charging the tablet for 10 hours, and the problem that the tablet gets very hot at its back area. Around here it gets very hot, so that's another minus. Okay, time for the conclusion. On the pros and cons, on the pros we have the video and audio quality, that's very good. We had 13 hours of battery life, or 12, or sometimes even 15. We have the Acer Ring UI that I consider to be a funky addition. We also have the price, that's pretty reasonable in USA. So as I said, you pay $399 on Amazon for this model. The camera is actually okay for 5 megapixel sensor. On the cons side, well, a lot of errors, problems, bugs, problems with charging, problems with resetting, the problem with the resolution, that's pretty antique for such a modern device, 1280 over 800 pixels. As I said, that's a big bummer. The design is exactly the older Acer models, that doesn't impress me, and another minus. So it's time for the grades. The design gets a 6 out of 10. The hardware gets a measly 2 out of 10 for the problem with the hardware, and that's not something that anyone would want to buy, a tablet with some problems. The interface gets a 7, so the total is 5 out of 10 for the Acer Iconia Tab A510. Once again, it has hardware problems, be careful about that, and that's it. I can't recommend you to buy this tablet, so wait for a bit, see if the problems are solved and buy it if you really like it, but otherwise don't buy it just yet. This is Tablet-News.com, hope you like the review of this Olympic device, and be back on our website for more reviews soon. Bye bye.